Okay, welcome back to more of Hero's Memory. And trying to decide which level to go into next. Either 5 or 6. Just trying to see which level is going to get more yield. And I actually decided to go to level 6 next because the item you get there is actually more useful. And 5 is kind of limited, mostly to just that level. Okay, so I'm trying to find the fastest way over to level 6, which is probably going to be just the warp points here. Okay, so we'll start going through Ocean Temple in its entirety. Yeah, this place can be a bit annoying to go through, especially when a lot of this level is underwater. And I think this music comes from Spirit Tracks. A little harder for me to recognize because I haven't really played Spirit Tracks as much. Now this room looks pretty suspicious. You know, it's not just an empty room for nothing. So that's what you need your remote bombs for. So that's not even an optional item to get through this place. And then this room, same thing. It's not just a dead end here. So it may not be a bad idea to bring a lot of bombs with you. I'll pick up the compass. And this room could get a little bit cramped. Yeah, Staff of Aquas is a really nice item to have for this place, because it really can cover your, especially the back end, so you can't get hit from the rear because, you know, the staff makes a full circle around you. Now, there is something more to this room. And once you kind of understand the gimmick of this place, you'll see why there's something beyond that. But actually, I wouldn't be able to do anything in that room anyway. It's good to know that, though. It's a really bad room here. It's just not much room to maneuver. That's why you have to, you know, learning the side slashing. You know, because if you time it right, you'll get dark nuts every time. They'll always get hit before they can hit you. Okay, down here, yeah, a lot of lights. Being able to time your bubbles kind of can be really handy for you. The more of these lights you can lock down, the better. And we'll just leave that one there. Now, assuming you didn't know the gimmick of this place yet, you know, you just keep going on this path. You know, just keep exploring as far as you can go. Another one of these little arrow obstacle courses to go through. Okay, get rid of most of the fires. It'll make life a little easier for later on. Yeah, the nice thing about the staff is you don't even need to use it that long. It just has to be long enough to hit the enemy. And most enemies will just take out in one hit. Okay, this is basically the gimmick of this level. So pretty much most of the rooms that you find tons of blocks in, you're gonna find something else in the room. Pick up the map really quick. And actually this is a nice little safe spot, like these lower edges. Just the way the room is laid out, that dark nuts actually can't get into this area. So for example, this room has a lot of blocks in it, and, you know, just to confirm, yeah, there's something just to the right there. But I can't do anything about that just yet. Similar with this room. So it's easy, you know, when you see a lot of blocks around. A little trickier when you're underwater because you still find secrets there, and you know, you can't use the lens of truth underwater. And this room has quite a number of blocks in it as well. But actually, if you look at your map, there's a room right above you. So you probably would get suspicious and start looking in this room. Find a hidden passage there. this room could be pretty nasty. Actually, I'm holding that half tile position pretty nicely there. Trying to minimize my losses. And it doesn't help that you have those arrow shooters. Pretty much take away your safe spots. Although up here, in this kind of little passage here, is fairly safe. And this room, you get suspicious there's something to the right here. I'll take a look over here first. And the bubbles are actually kind of nice because, you know, even if they get free, if the bubble contacts them, they'll get stunned again. And really being able to put that to as good a use as you can get it. Okay, this room is pretty much a trap room. You pretty much just take everything out. I guess you get extra bombs in case you're short. You actually do need bombs for this place, this section. And the staff just completely demolished the big fly there. Okay, so looking at your map, you really can only go up or left. Yeah, see, you don't have to use the staff for that long. I'm just barely activating it, but I just needed to be able to hit the enemy. That's really all I needed to do. And if you get magic jars back, you end up just getting this for free. Get a free use of your staff. And extra bombs. Actually, I'll pick up those extra bombs. I'm a little short on bombs right now. Oh, extra bombs. Alright. Nice for some refills there. And again, if you look at your map, there's a room to the left, so you would probably just try to bomb it or walk through the wall first. And the lens just confirms that. At least I'm getting all my ammo back. And in here you find the hook shot. So a few things you can do with this outside of this level. Now if you look back at your map, there's actually rooms on that left side. And you actually have to go back to those rooms, actually. And it may actually be faster just to warp back to the start. I'll save a little bit of backtracking time. Yeah, this level's a bit of a step up in difficulty compared to the earlier levels. And if you have no blue mail, then good luck. A lot of the enemies here are gonna hurt. Oh, actually, a nice thing, you can actually use the hook shot underwater, which becomes quite relevant. Get all my magic back. And got a big heart there as well. Again, if you notice the room with a lot of blocks in it, you should be a little bit suspicious, especially to the room to the left. You don't really need the lens, pretty much. If you understand the gimmick of this place, and then if you once you find the map, it kind of helps you to find the hidden passages. Picking up tons of ammo refills. And just some free money in that corner. Another little obstacle course to go through. It's kind of hard to time your movements to not get hit by the traps and stuff. Again, well-timed bubbles are actually really nice because it provides kind of a shield for yourself. I'm gonna stun most of these enemies at your convenience. Also, the hookshot is good for stunning these fish, because your bubbles don't do anything. It's got pretty good range to stun the enemies, at least. Yeah, you might have found this room early on, but this is where you would get stuck, and you'd have to remember to come back to this room. Remote bombs are actually really nice because you don't really have to time the shot that much, and you're probably going to get double hits. Yeah, so the hookshot's pretty good with the ability to stun enemies, so you don't have to hit them with just the the front part of it, so if you get it as it's coming back, it basically if you hit any part of the hook shot, it's gonna stun an enemy. Okay, so this room, your job is to free up the space so you can get to the block. So you're gonna have to go kind of back and forth a little bit, just keep pushing blocks. Yeah, very nice for this very tight space because you really wouldn't have a lot of room to maneuver. The hook shot's already getting a little bit of mileage. Yeah, it's kind of annoying you're only going like half speed in this place. Okay, you know what? I'm lazy. I'm just gonna nuke out half the room here. Little green vines can't shield the other enemies anymore because just the staff is basically a battering ram. And it makes a very good one as well. Again, you know, I'm just gonna get my magic back. You know, with a level 1 magic ring, and your magic goes up pretty quickly. So it's kind of worth that 350 rupee investment. Yeah, definitely gonna get a good yield out of it. That's pretty much a lot of backtracking at this point. I might as well get at least some of them. And the easiest way to get through this room is just, you know, use your staff if you have it. No stealth mode needed, since you'll just take everything out. And again, there's a walk-through wall to the right here. Now, you could come here earlier, but you actually need the hook shot to get this key. And these little symbols should give you a little bit of a hint there. Okay, now we can head on down here. We're just picking up more money. Yeah, you're starting a really cramped spot, so if you can kind of simplify a little work for yourself. Since the remote bombs pretty much have enough strength to when they KO most of these guys underwater. And you pretty much need your hookshot just to get past any of these points here. And you're just gonna have to work around a little bit here. Not that big an issue. Yeah, normally this type of room would be pretty annoying to get through. Put your hookshot to good use here. Now note the hookshot doesn't have that good a range, so it's not gonna go across the entire width of this room. Like from here, it's like, you know, you can't just get to the other block, you gotta actually use the whole floor. Now look at this part's pretty linear. Another nice thing with the hookshot, you get invincibility frames when you use it. So if an enemy can get stunned by the hookshot, I believe that hookshot can actually cover you. It'll stun the enemy first because you can only get hit once the hookshot finishes retracting. But if it's still moving, you know, it's still gonna cover you. Okay, so this boss can be a little bit interesting to battle. Got a Superman handler. And I just got it in one hit there, alright. I was actually getting my staff ready. I'm gonna use that as backup. Okay, so we pick up this. Another memory. Got the orange colored one. Again, I believe a Spirit Tracks reference. Alright, so level 6 is down. And I believe there's one more thing I can pick up at this point, so I'll actually go and get it right now. Actually, there's a few things I can pick up, actually. I wonder if I should save that for the next part, actually. No, I can just warp. It gets me very close to where I need to be. So on this screen, you got a suspicious tree there. So those types of things you gotta use your fire rod on. And here you find another expansion spot. I'll just take some more bombs. And that's really it for this point. And I'll go back to the forest. Now that we have the hook shot, there's actually another section we can actually explore. I don't think I went up here before. And luckily we can get this magic jar. You just need at the least a slingshot. So we'll scoop that up. And now that we have the hook shot, we can actually get across this gap. Gonna get into this newer area. And it looks intimidating, but again, the staff just makes short work of all these guys. Okay, so we can go in here. Well, the heart piece there, but you actually can't get that yet. I need an item from a later dungeon to get to that one. Okay, this screen should be somewhat familiar if you played the original Zelda 1. You actually need a power bracelet to push this. And here's the magical sword. Good thing 11 hearts is enough to get that. Okay, so we made some pretty good progress here. Got the cleared out level 6, got the magical sword as well. And it should be going back to level 5 in the next part. At least I think I should be doing that. Alright, see you guys later.